Hey everybody, so today I kind of wanted to do another chit chat. Get ready with me. I've been very stressed out this morning and we'll get all into that as the video goes on. But I find filming videos relaxes me, especially when I'm doing my makeup or something like that, where I can just kind of take my time and hang out. My daughter's downstairs with my husband, so I'm not like timed the way that I am filming some other videos. So I figured we could take our time today and create a look. I get asked a lot, like, how do I come up with my makeup looks? And I figured it might be interesting to kind of show you guys a little bit of like how I'll just sort of play with eyeshadows and come up with colors. So since I wasn't in the best of mood, I was crying a little bit earlier. We'll get into why. It's not a big deal. I'm frustrated. So I kind of just wanted to make my day a little bit better by adding a little bit of color. So I had picked up this Makeup Forever palette, and I'm not sure if this video or the Sephora haul video is coming out first, but I picked this up in that haul, and I really wanted to try to use this blue color because I'm wearing like a gray outfit today, and then even though it's the middle of winter, I could care less. I'm wearing this seashell necklace, which I may actually try to make a little bit tighter. So it sits up a little bit higher, but I figured this really nice blue would go along with it. I don't have any actual plans, so I literally just grabbed a ton of palettes with all different colors in it, and we'll see what we'll come up with. I actually didn't wear any makeup yesterday, so my face is like extra clean. We'll just go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I'll always do, I will be doing a very brief face routine, so we'll kind of talk through this, but I'm going to take my professional by benefit as always. So we'll talk about what I'm so frustrated about. And so if you are a homeowner yourself or are thinking about becoming one, it is probably the worst and the best decision you had ever made to buy that house. Because, you know, the difference between buying a house and an apartment, I mean, it's different if, like, you're renting a house or a condo where you have, you know, someone kind of take care of stuff for you. So if appliances break or, like, you know, your lawn needs to be mowed, like that, you know, is all kind of incorporated in your price. When you're a homeowner, that's all on you. Everything's out of your pocket. You have to take care of your home. Whatever happens to your home, that's you, girl. Which is so frustrating to me. Really quickly, I'm gonna take my MAC. I've been using the Studio Fix foundation, but to be honest, when I had been using the Kat Von D foundation for a while, and I just wanted to try something new. I hadn't tried a MAC foundation in quite a while, so I just wanted to try MAC again. I never tried their Studio Fix, and the foundation is beautiful, but I was color matched when I was there, and the lady tried two different colors on me, and one was extremely orange, like really orange on my skin tone. So she tried another one that matched beautifully, but I don't know what happened, because when I got home and like I put on my foundation and stuff, like it took me a couple days to realize, but I'm like, I don't think this matches. So I ended up actually adding a drugstore foundation in here, just a little bit, that was a lighter color, just to lighten up the overall foundation, and I feel like now it matches so much better. But I don't know if like she accidentally gave me the one that I wasn't supposed to have, or like it didn't match maybe as well as I thought. I don't know. It looked awful. It looked so bad. So you know, now it's fixed, so that's good. Oh, I'm breaking out. Crap. Probably from all the freaking stress. But yeah, it's better now, so I just figured I would throw that in real quick. But back to being a homeowner. Yeah, so everything is on you. And our biggest struggles of being a homeowner, like the biggest roadblock that we've run into, or like the most often roadblock, is heating your home. I live in New England, which I love New England, but I am not about that cold weather. If it was up to me, I'd be in Florida. I'd be in Puerto Rico right now, to be honest. Cold weather is just not for me. The winter makes me so depressed. And I hate everything about the snow, like literally everything. I don't enjoy being cold. So on top of being depressed about the cold, when we run out of heat, that's a whole nother issue. So what happened this morning is that we've been having issues with our propane companies, which heats our home. The propane will heat, the heat will come through our baseboards. We have one in our kitchen, we have one in our living room, and we have one in our downstairs bathroom, the baseboards. So that will heat, you know, our entire downstairs, and our upstairs is heated by electric baseboards. So, not even a month ago, my husband called the company and said, you know, we're getting low on propane. We try not to run out completely because then you have no heat. And when it's negative degrees outside, that's not fun. So he calls the company and, you know, he schedules a delivery time for them to come and fill up our tanks. And the day that they were supposed to come, they said they would be there by like 8 o'clock the latest. It's kind of like FedEx. Like they'll say like, you know, any time between like now and 8 o'clock at night. They don't like give you a time, they just kind of give you a time frame. So it was getting really late on this particular day where we were supposed to get propane. Like TJ got home from work and he gets home at like 6. So I was just kind of getting worried because I'm like, all right, we have 2 hours for this truck to be here. Can we just call them and like make sure that they're coming? I needed a peace of mind. So my husband calls them and they're like, oh, we had too many deliveries today. We'll be there tomorrow morning. And he's like, well, that's not gonna work. He's like, you know, the lady said, whoever he spoke to order this propane, like literally guaranteed us the propane on a specific day. Now at this point, mind you, like we called and then they said, you know, we'll be there in like 2 days or something. So we had already been out of propane for several days. So I was using a lot of space heaters, which eats at your electric bill. So now I have a massive electric bill because propane's slacking. So it's just really frustrating. And the electric heaters, I mean, they don't do that well of a job heating up your home. Really quickly, I'm going into my Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser. I'm actually going out to Sephora today to buy a new concealer. So next time I do a makeup routine, there may be a new one. So we'll see. This is a terrific drugstore one. I've just never ever used a high-end concealer before, and I really want to give them a try. So TJ's on the phone. He calls them. He's like, you know, where are you guys? Are you still coming to do our delivery? And they're like, oh yeah, we're too busy. So he's like, well, I just talked to a woman the other day on a recorded line guaranteeing us propane for this day. And keep in mind, you guys, like, we're not ones to like call companies and complain and stuff. I had worked in the food industry for many years, so I never appreciated, you know, complaints, and I always tried to stay away from that. But if a company literally like tells you we will be there, it's not even about me. Before my daughter was born, this is not the first or the last time that we'll run out of propane. So, you know, I was very used to like it being the dead of winter and not having any heat, and I coped by going upstairs, which is warm. Thank God, at least our bedrooms are warm, even if we don't have propane because of the electric heaters. So, you know, like I would just go upstairs or I would just layer up, and it never really bothered me because I could keep myself warm. But ever since I've had my daughter, things just change when you have a kid. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm, okay. My strap was like blocking the record indicator, so I just wanted to make sure I was still recording. everything changes when you have a kid, because it's not about you anymore. Like, I could be in a heatless home and not be comfortable, but whatever, you gotta do what you gotta do. But you want to give your kid the best of everything, and like, I know, I don't know, like, I know we don't have the best of everything, which is fine. I'm not expecting that at all, but the least I want to give my kid is a warm home. And it sometimes bothers me when that doesn't happen, especially when it's not even our fault. So, like, that was the last incident that we had, like, about a month ago. And the most recent one happened today. I went downstairs and I'm like, why is it 54 degrees downstairs right now? Like, why is it so cold? And we're trying to turn on the propane, trying to turn up the heat, and we're just out. So we've been trying to switch over. I hope this story is not so confusing, because I'm just sort of all over the place. To be honest, I just want to vent. But we were supposed to be switching propane companies, because ever since that incident about a month ago, that was not the first issue that we had with that particular company. So we're like, we're done. We're going to try to find another company. We actually got accepted for a program. My daughter is downstairs. We got accepted for a program with another propane company, which is like, we've been trying to switch over to them. So we've been talking to this new company, and they're like, we will give you a locked-in rate for propane, like your first fill-up is half off, all this blah, blah, blah stuff. And they had to call us back for some reason. Oh my gosh, my eyes are so puffy. Look at this eye. Oh my gosh, it's just the stress. Oh my gosh, it's so puffy right now. Holy crap. Well, hopefully it'll go down a little bit since I'm not like crying anymore or whatever. But yeah, we've been trying to switch over to this new company, and we set everything up, and they're like, we'll call you back and you know, set up like they have to take out the old tanks, put in their new tanks, you know, come fill us up, like we'll call you back with all the information. So we haven't heard from them, and last night we ran out of propane. Really quickly, I don't mean to interrupt again, but I'm actually gonna, oh no, I should have, I'm such a mess today. I was supposed to put my cream contour down. Crap, we'll do it now. I'm actually using this duo stick from Maybelline. It's the Master Contour by Face Studio. I actually haven't really been using the highlight side. I've just been using the contour side, which is pretty much totally gone. But I just take a little brush, which I'm not sure which one, right here. I usually just take, like, this is my designated cream contour brush, and I'll just take a little bit and then start placing my contour. So we never got a phone call back. So when I went downstairs and we were out of propane this morning, I'm like, wasn't the program guaranteed, like, we would never run out? Like, the program basically, you get a locked-in rate, and then they come and top you off every, like, so often. So, like, you don't have to wait until you're pretty much out of propane to get a fill-up. Like, they'll just come every, like, couple weeks or whatever and just fill it up a little bit. So we ran out, and I'm like, so what happened to this never running out of propane? We're running out of propane. I'm such a mess today. Oh my god, you guys. I hope you haven't clicked away, because I'm just a jumbled. Ugh. So I'm like, what the heck? We ran out of propane. So we called them, and we were like, so we had been expecting a phone call about, you know, switching over to you guys, but you never called us back, and now we're out of heat. So the ladies, I called them, and I never, that scares me more than anything, to like call companies. So if I'm calling someone, I'm fuming. So I was very polite to the woman. I am not one of those people to just go off. It's not her fault. It's the company's fault. But I shouldn't freak out on her just because she works for them, you know? I wish more people did that. But I just, you know, I very calmly explained the situation. I said my husband and I were accepted for this program. We've been expecting a phone call, and now we're out of heat. So she couldn't, like, she was trying to look us up in their system by our address, and like we were not even in their system. So So I put my husband on the phone and I'm like, please take this phone call before I ruin this woman's day. Like, I just don't want to. Like, she doesn't deserve it. I'm just not in a good mood. I was about to freak out. I'm going to blend in my cream contour. Usually I don't powder before I do all my creams. I just kind of forgot. But I'm actually using the Sephora contour brush. It's the number 77. It's just called Pro Contour Blender. And I am just going to... What on earth is my daughter doing? I might have to shut my door because she's being really loud. So my husband talked to them and they're like, I don't know exactly what they said. They said they call us back again. So he gave, I think he talked to the manager, but he gave him his number to call him back later or whatever. So we're not really sure what's going on with that. But like, even if that company calls us back, we don't have time to wait for them. Like, it's gonna take 5 days for them to come out, replace the tanks, and then fill us up. We're out of propane now, and my pipes have, they could burst. If there's no heat in the pipes underneath the ground, they can freeze and burst. So we're like, we want to switch to you guys, but we can't wait at the moment. So we're going to have to switch with our next fill up. So we ended up having to call the propane company that we still currently have, which we had that issue with about a month ago, and we're ordering propane. But it was just so frustrating, you guys, because like, I know this is such first world problems, and like, my problems are so minuscule in the grand scheme of things, but like, the first time that this happened, it was okay. Like, we ran out of heat, whatever, we got by it. The second time we ran out, it was fine. It was whatever. This is like the 20th time. I've lived in this house for 4 years, and we have run out of heat every single winter. And granted, like, not every time was their fault. Sometimes, like, we didn't personally have the finances, and that's totally on us. I am not blaming the company by any means. I am just so frustrated because it just seems like such a simple thing to have heat in your house, but it's really not. So if you're preparing to buy a home, more power to you, but just no, it's not as easy as you would ever imagine. It is the most difficult thing I've ever done in my entire life. So now that I have that mostly blended, I'm just going to go back in with my Still Damp Beauty Blender and just kind of blend that out a little bit. I like to do this before my powder, but because it's already down, there's no going back at this point. So I'm just going to blend it in a little bit so it's not so harsh. And then once my eyes are done, I'll go back into my face and blend that out. So next we are moving on to brows. And I apologize if you guys don't like kind of, not really negative chit chats, like truly I'm just kind of venting. Sorry, my makeup mirror is in the way. I'm just truly venting, but I feel 1,000 times better than I did 15 minutes ago before I started this video. Really quickly, I'm going in with my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the color dark brown. I may actually, I have a couple gift cards to Sephora, that's why I'm going today. Depending on how much I have left over, I really wanted to get the a powder that matches this brow. Just at the time of buying this pencil, I didn't have enough to buy both, and I figured it would make more sense to buy the pencil first. Maybe not, maybe I should have bought in the powder first, but I just like that crispness of the pencil. Brows are done. That took forever. Next I'm going to, I always like to take this Jumbo Eye Pencil by NYX. It's just in the color Milk, but I love using this as a primer, but I'll also take it in my tear duct and underneath my eyes. Like, I brighten up my entire eye area because I tend to just have really dark eyes, like kind of sleepy eyes. I get, like, all my brothers have it. We just have really sleepy eyes. But I don't know, I'm just trying to keep my head up and stuff, and I actually told my husband, we had a conversation probably about a week ago, like right after New Year's basically, and he just asked me, like, did you make any resolutions for this year? And my answer to him was completely depressing, but I'll explain it to you. Like, I'll tell you what I told him, and then I'll explain it to you guys to kind of know where I'm at for this new year. So I told him, he asked me, you know, do you have any resolutions? I said, no. I said, I don't make resolutions because I'm tired of failing myself. And he was like, whoa. He's like, whoa, what, you know, what's going on? Are you okay? And I said, I didn't mean that for that to sound depressing. I don't make resolutions anymore because every time I've made resolutions, I've never kept them. You know, I think a typical one is like going to the gym or, you know, eating healthier or quitting cigarettes, whatever your resolution may be. Really quickly, I don't want to look this crazy anymore, so we're gonna jump into some eyeshadow. I always like to start with a crease color, a lighter one, so I can always go back and darken it a little bit later. Again, I have no plan for my eyes, but like this is just kind of how I come up with looks. But you know, actually really quickly, I just kind of want to finish my thought because I'm just about done, and then we'll just get into the eyes. But I don't make New Year's resolutions. I'm tired of failing myself because, you know, like I would sign up for the gym and then not stick with it, or try a new diet and not stick with it. So my resolutions almost ended up making me feel like a failure every year, and definitely didn't help with like motivation or just like my self-esteem. So instead of making resolutions, I always just try to make myself a better person than I was the last year. And it's not like specific goals, it's just like an overall better yourself in any area that you feel that you need some help. So that's that. So we're gonna start with the eyes, which I kind of just wanted to talk about the eyes with you guys because I feel like this is the most important part of the tutorial. Now I'm running out of battery. I just changed my memory card, I'm telling you. Today has been an overall pain in the ass. Alright, I angled you guys up a little bit so maybe you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. But I tend to go, oh my goodness, right for my natural eyes palette. This is the one that I always use. And I use this nude shadow here, but I almost want to see if I have more of a little bit of a mauve-y crease shadow. And I feel like you're way too close to me. A little bit. Love you, but stay back there. So I'm going to dig through my palettes really quickly. I'm actually going to check out my Huda palette because it has some really nice matte shadows, and let's see if there's one that I want to use for my crease. So keeping in mind that I'm wearing gray and blues today, I really like this suede color here, but I feel like it's still going to be a little bit too dark. So let me see if I can't find something a little bit lighter. Let me go into my Vice palette and see if there's anything in here. No, not really. Not for my crease. Let me see. Okay, screw it. We're just going to go into my natural eyes palette. I'll just use a really light hand. So I'm just going to take a fluffy crease brush, which Lord knows where that is. Mine is actually just an e.l.f. one, so it's really, really, really affordable if you're looking for one. And it's lasted me, I've had this thing for a while and I use it every single day and haven't had an issue with it. So I'm going to go right into nude, pick up a little bit on my brush, and then I like to raise my eyebrows a little bit when I do this. But with a very light hand, I'm just going to sweep it back and forth. Just like that. I always like to start with just a little bit less eyeshadow than you think you would need, because you can always, always, always build it up. But once you add too much, it's going to be really hard to blend out. And I am going to bring it a little bit higher so this color does poke out once we have on all the eyeshadows still. You'll still be able to see it. Pick up a little bit more and darken it up a little bit. I feel like you can see it a little bit better now. It's going all the way to my tear duct pretty much. I'm actually bringing it up a little bit here too. But to get a really, really nice blend, you really want to take your time. And I know some people are rushed. I'm a mom, I get it. I'm rushed all the time. So you may not have the time to, you know, sit here and blend it. But if you just take those extra couple of seconds to really get those edges soft, it looks so good. So I'll do the exact same thing on the other eye. I'm also filming in a new spot today. I'm sitting at my desk in my bedroom, and that's what you see in my background. My headboard's over here, and then there's, oh, that's still my headboard. But I don't know. I'm actually filming with natural light. So pretty much this spot I can only film in on Thursdays because it's just the day that my husband's home, and I can't film like during the day with my daughter because there'll be a lot of distractions. As if I'm not distracted, as if I'm not a distraction already, because I stutter over everything and I change my subjects so quickly. I know I have a problem with that, but it's just really, I can't film here with her, and I need the daylight because there's no room for like artificial lighting, so I can't film in this area during night. So if I'm filming here, it means my daughter's covered. Now that we have that blended, I want to kind of move into our color. Ooh, this is a pretty color. I forgot that I had this blue from NYX too, and it's actually, I think, really similar to the color that I picked out for this palette. Actually, this one's a little bit darker, so they're not exactly the same. Thank God. Oh my goodness. I may keep this one out though. We might try something with it. I typically like to wet my brushes when I'm working with color because it just, I always feel like it comes out a little bit nicer, but I actually do have a little bit of water right here that I can use. So I'm going in with a flat shader brush that I've damped a little bit, and then I'm going in with this color here. It is from Makeup Forever. I don't know the name of it. I should have like wrote I don't think they have names. I think they just have numbers. I should have wrote it on the back of this to give you references, but I'm sorry about that. But it's just this beautiful baby sky blue color. So I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of that on the tip of my brush, and then with color I always like to just pat it on. I don't typically like to swipe. I feel like that gives you not as good of a color payoff. And this is my first time using a Makeup Forever product in general. Truthfully, it's not as pigmented as I hoped it would, especially considering I wet it, which usually makes the pigment even more pigmented. But we're definitely getting color payoff. I just feel like I would like to go over it with something. I feel like this would be great for like people who want a pop of color but still kind of want it subtle. But girl, if I'm wearing color, I'm wearing color. So I'm gonna try wetting the shadow a little bit more and see if that helps. Maybe I just didn't have enough water on it. I don't know, let's, ooh, ooh, okay. Ooh, that's better. That a girl. So I'm just gonna pack this all over my lid, and I tend to bring it up a little bit over the crease because we're gonna go back in a few minutes, you'll see, and blend that out so it doesn't look like I just plopped blue there. It's gonna look like it actually all, you know, blends together. So I'm just bringing it up to the crease and all the way down to my eyelashes and into the tear duct as well. But even in the tear duct, I'm bringing it up slightly into the crease. Sorry if I look crazy. I always apply, well, like my mirror is angled a little bit awkward because I just didn't want it in the frame. Like you can see it a little bit, but I didn't want it totally in the frame of my camera. So I'm just kind of tilting my head in a very awkward way. So sorry if I look ridiculous while applying this eyeshadow, but oh girl, oh my gosh, I'm actually so excited because for a second there, I was really disappointed in that eyeshadow. It's a beautiful color, but I was like, I could find something much more pigmented. But while wetting it, oh my, oh girl, that one was even more wet, and I love it, love it, love it, love it. Wow. Okay, I take back everything that I thought when I first applied this eyeshadow. Wow, that's freaking beautiful. There's just something about, ouch. Okay, there's a knot right there apparently. There's something about, ouch. There's something about color that just, I mean, you guys know, it's just so bright and so fun, and it just puts you in such a good mood. Like I feel so much better. I'm so glad that I decided to film this video, because when I was having a meltdown downstairs, I was like, I knew I wanted to film a tutorial today, but I was just not having it after that whole propane thing. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna film this video. It always makes me feel better when I do, and I'm so glad that I did. So this eyeshadow is now applied, so I'm gonna actually give it just like a second to dry before we start going in and blending everything out. So I'm gonna work on the bottom lashes. So what I'm gonna do, I don't really want color down there. I was gonna do gold, but there's actually silver in my necklace, so I'm gonna do, I don't know, I'm probably just gonna keep the bottom lash line neutral. So I think I'm gonna go into this palette because I think that's pretty much where I'm heading. And I think I'm gonna take this nice color called Sandalwood, which just reminds me a lot of the color of sand. So I figured it would go really, really nice with this whole look because, you know, with the blue, the shell, sand colors. So, and it's light enough. So I'm just gonna take this tiny little brush, and I actually don't start it right at my lash line. I start it a little bit below. Oh my goodness, this color is super pigmented. Not as pigmented as I thought it would be, but we'll blend it out, that's okay. And I'm just gonna drag it out a little bit. I'm not coming all the way to my inner tear ducts, but I'm getting pretty close. And we'll do the exact same thing on the other eye. That's the thing with like makeup, is I find that it looks ugly 99% of the time that you're doing it, but it all just comes together at the end, and that is the best part. Oh. Now that I have that color applied, I'm gonna go in with this little dome brush and just kind of smoke it out a little bit, not make it as harsh. And while I'm doing this, I'm blending it up towards my lash line. But I always like to apply that white because it just kind of brightens, like leaves the color still bright. So even if I do a darker color on my lash line, it's not as dark as if you just applied it on your regular skin. I just don't enjoy a lot of dark colors on my eyes. I just don't feel like it personally suits me. It still allows me to work with dark colors without looking weird, the white primer. Okay, so now that we've given our blue a little bit of time to dry, I think I'm actually gonna try, alright, I'm gonna go in with that suede color that I pointed out earlier, that kind of grayish, it almost like, it's like a grayish brown. It's a really pretty color, but I'm gonna go in with a denser crease brush. It's just the opposite side of that dome brush that I used, and I'm just going to, it really, really helps to look down in your mirror. But I'm just gonna blend out the edges of that blue. So with a very light hand, I'm just going over the area where the blue meets our crease color. I'm blending it out very, very, very softly. I really don't want to lose any of that blue. Also make sure it's transitioning nicely into our first crease color, and don't be afraid to go back into color. If you feel like you're losing something that you put down, or something's just not quite showing up the way you want it to, don't be afraid to go back in. I'm going back into our very first crease color that we used because I was losing it a little bit. And then again, I'll take up that dense crease color with suede. Go back and forth, nice. I'm just gonna take that crease color, that crease brush one more time, just kind of go over the whole thing so it blends a little bit nicer. The same exact thing on the other eye, but you can already see the difference between the blue. This one comes to a screeching halt where this one's getting blended in. So back into that suede and blend out those edges. And again, with the fluffier crease brush. Now, just because I'm having a little bit of fun, I think I'm going to try to go in my Galaxy Chic palette that has a lot of really nice light blues in it. And there's this one, well, there's actually two. There's Meteor and Electra, which are two really nice blues. I think I'm going to take Electra here. And again, these colors, the baked eyeshadows particularly work wonders wet. So I'm just going to dampen my brush just a little bit again. Okay, going into Electra, which I think is just a little tiny lighter, yeah, than this blue that we put on. I'm just going to concentrate it right in the center of my lids. And I'm not going to bring it all the way up to my crease because I don't want to blend it out again. So I'm just going to Do a little bit of a pop right there, and it just makes it stand out just a little bit more. Dampen my brush again. And pack it right on the center of your lids. Which is really, really, really gonna open the eye and make that blue stand out like crazy. Then I think I'm actually gonna go into Meteor, which is the lightest blue in this palette, taking a tiny little detail brush, again wet. I love working with these eyeshadows damp. I don't think I've ever used these eyeshadows dry besides like the very first time I used it, which there's a video, an old video of me reviewing this palette. Still getting views on it. But I'm just gonna add this light blue inner tear duct as a highlight. I was just gonna use a typical like vanilla highlighter, but I actually really like that it's almost white, but it has a hint of blue. And I'm gonna drag it a little bit over as well to make it blend into that sand color that we applied on our bottom lash. Just want it all to seem like it's going together. Nothing's too sharp, nothing's too blunt. Same exact thing on the other eye. This is one of my favorite palettes I've ever bought, and it's also one of the cheapest. It's from BH Cosmetics, which is an extremely affordable site for makeup. If you really want to try it but don't want to like go to Sephora and spend $50 on a palette. I've been there, I've done that. I get it. So this is a really amazing palette if you want to get introduced into colors, because I feel like there's not anything like too harsh in here that you wouldn't use. But one more time, I'm going to go back into Suede, and I'm going to take that dome brush again because I just want to make the outer maybe third or so of my bottom lash line a little more intense. I'm just using very light strokes. There you go. A little bit on this eye as well. I actually lost a little bit of that NYX highlight in my inner tear duct, in my waterline, so I'm just gonna go over that a little bit just because I was crying, so I want to make sure it doesn't look extra red. So we're pretty much done with oh no, I lied. I do want to try to go into that NYX shadow, and I think I'm just going to use that same denser crease brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit of it. It's very similar to the color that we applied on our lid, but because I'm losing a little bit of that blue as we get closer to the crease, I'm just going to add this, and I'm using it dry, but I'm just going to add this right into our crease. Give us a little bit more of an ombre effect from the blue into the neutral colors that we use, because I want the blue to be the main focus, so I don't want to hide it, I don't want to dull it out, so I'm just adding it back a little bit by doing this. I'm actually not going to put anything in my outer V, so we're going to move on to eyeliner, and I know I've been promising you guys an eyeliner tutorial forever. I had it ready, it was ready to go, it was ready to be uploaded, and my computer completely crashed. Now this was like my old computer, not the newest one, so don't worry, but I promise I will get it up to you guys as quickly as I can. I was gonna film it today, but I felt like this was super distracting to do it on, so let me quickly do my liner. It is the scariest thing doing your liner when you're working with color, you don't want to screw it up so bad. One done. You see how much it just changes your look and just brings everything together? Oh, couldn't live without eyeliner. I think this would be so freaking pretty as like a going out look. I just need to get my hands on like glitter to like change this from like a day to night look. Oh my gosh, to get a glitter in that blue color would be life. Let me know if you guys know of any like really good glitter products, because truthfully I don't own any. Now that I have, hello, ooh, YouTube. Oh no, just a notification. Okay, now that we have our eyeliner on, I am gonna go in with the mascara, and I actually ran out finally. This thing lasted me forever, this Revlon one. So thank you, Carmen, for still getting, literally, this is the one that you sent me, girl. So I am using the Telescopic Carbon Black. This was a favorite of mine a while ago. This was actually recommended to me, and I gave it a try, and I love it. The only thing that I would change about this mascara is making it waterproof. Because once in a while, I'll find it a little tiny bit smudged on my lower lash line because I apply this on my bottom lashes, which you'll see in just a second. But sometimes I'll just notice like little black dots, or if you cry, it's coming off. You're gonna have black streaks running down your face. So I think I've gotten my crying out of the way for today. So we're gonna apply this. I mean, you could probably always put like, you know, a waterproof mascara right over this one, but I feel like it's just an extra step, an extra project. Oh my god, not a project, an extra product that you have to buy. So I think it would just be amazing if this was waterproof. Maybe they sell waterproof ones, I don't know, but the drugstore that I had, they didn't have any. So I'm gonna apply this on my bottom lashes as well. I like to start applying it horizontally, well, holding the brush horizontally. And I start at the roots and then just wiggle it down to the tips. And then I'll give that a moment to dry while I go ahead and do the other eye. Then once it's had just a second, once it's had a second to dry, I'm gonna hold the brush vertically and just graze the tips of my eyelashes to give them a little more length. Alright, while I allow my eyelashes to get tacky, I'm going to move back to the face. So I'm going to take my NYX contour palette that I've been using for quite a while. And I'm going to take, if I can't get it open, I'm going to go ahead and take a little tiny angled contour brush. I'm going to go into this taupey shade. Oh my goodness, I have some blue fallout right there. Let me get that off. I'm just going to go in and kind of bronze up the face a bit more. So I'm taking it a little bit higher than where I contoured. Almost right on my cheekbones, a little bit on my temple, down my neck, on my jawline. Oh my gosh, I need my eye drops because my eye is so bloodshot. I don't know why, but it's been like that for a couple of days and it's actually like freaking me out. My eyelashes should be tacky now because this glue dries a little bit faster than the Duo one that comes out of the tube. So I'm just going to reusing these lashes. So a little bit of glue is on the tips of these. I don't know why. We'll go ahead and plop them on. Oh my gosh, I love what lashes does to your makeup. It changes the whole look. But in a good way. Like, it doesn't take away from the look, it just adds so much. Alright, we'll give those a minute to fully dry. So we'll go ahead and highlight really quickly, which is pretty much our last look. We're just finishing up. I've been obsessed with Becca's Champagne Pop, as the rest of the world has as well. I actually apply it with a big fluffy fan brush, and I just pick up a little bit. And then I'll just start sweeping it back and forth on the very tops of my cheekbones. I just kind of like, I'll do a couple swipes and look, because I don't want to add too much highlight. I just want to make it look as natural as I possibly can, and I feel like if you add too much, it's just going to look really, really artificial. Bring it around to my temple a little bit, and then you want to make sure that each side is highlighted the equal amount. You know, you don't want one side way too bright and then the other one you can't even see the highlight. So I just kind of turn my head back and forth till I'm happy, and then I'll take my finger, just go down the bridge of my nose. Now I don't typically contour my nose because my nose is really crooked, which I should contour it, but it always it doesn't ever turn out right. Ooh, delivery. And then a tiny bit on my chin. Don't you dare break on me, I swear to God, today is not the day for it. Alright, once my lashes have dried, I'm just going to go back in with my liquid liner and just hide that band. One more time with mascara. I'm just going to go over my real and fake lashes just to blend them in a little bit better. And maybe just a little more on the bottom because I'm crazy. And I love my mascara. I love it. Lastly, lips. I know the past couple of tutorials I've done, I've forgot about lips for one reason or another, but I am prepared today. Oh my god, am I? I just went through so much to get this makeup. Okay. Okay, we have it. So you probably noticed this entire video that my lips have been dry, so I'm gonna take this bubblegum lip scrub from Lush, and I'm just gonna very quickly exfoliate my lips. For my lips, I would typically line them, but I don't know where my liner is. Oh, well, actually, we'll use, well, we actually have this lip liner, which we'll just use. It's from Palladio, which is my favorite lip liner, but it's not the cream one, it's the pencil one. In the color Cafe, which is kind of a pink, but it'll work for this look, so I'll line my lips. To make my lipstick last all day, I fill it in as well. Then to stick with the gray theme, I'm going in with my NYX Lingerie liquid lipstick in the color Corset, which is like a really nice light gray color. So I'm going to go right over the liner. I like doing the pink lip liner underneath because I feel like with this color in particular, if I wear it alone, it just kind of makes me look a little zombie-ish. But with kind of that pink undertone, it warms it up a little bit. So this is pretty much the completed look. My lipstick hasn't dried completely, but it will be completely matte once it's fully dried in just a minute or so, but I'm about to run out of space, so I gotta wrap it up. But I hope you guys enjoyed chit-chatting with me today. I know it didn't start off on the most positive note, but I'm so glad that I was kind of able to vent and get out my frustrations while creating something beautiful out of it. This is definitely a coping technique for me, making videos, just talking to you guys, just doing my makeup. It's such a relaxing thing, and it just really, really helps me out. But I hope you guys did enjoy creating this look for me, and I hope it did inspire you to play with color, and you don't necessarily have to know exactly what you're gonna do when you go ahead and sit down and do your makeup. Just look at what you have, try to think. I thought, you know, a beach theme, what would go with blue? I'm wearing gray, you know, let's do some silver, let's do a big pop of blue, let's do a gray lip. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please go ahead and hit that like button. And if you don't want to miss any new videos, go ahead and subscribe. We have a long year ahead of us with a lot of videos coming. So I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye!